Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Like, with all due respect, I'm just call a spade, bro. Memphis Bleek, he's been irrelevant for 15 years. He's going viral in 2026. What I would say to you, if you look at anything that has to do with him in a headline, there's one person connected to it because he's seen as a spokesperson, right? Oh, shit. Is that New York Drill official call me? Damn. Let me just tell my boy I'm on stream real quick. Yo, I'm on stream real quick. Can I hit you back?
Yeah, for sure. My bad. Hit me back when you're done.
I bet. That's my boy New York Drill official right there. Anybody fuck with New York Drill official? That nigga is hilarious. Okay, so Bleek went on to have a convo, and this convo was with, it looked like it was on DJ Self's show. Is it DJ Self? Okay. I didn't even know DJ Self even had this show. But he has this conversation, and the conversation, because, you know, whether y'all want to believe it or not, I'm telling you, there is a large concerted effort to push people out to be these proxies and mouthpieces for Rock Nation. They're trying to rewrite the narrative. What? Jay wasn't that great? Let me tell you how he's so great. What? Jay hasn't done something for the community? Let me tell you this. Everybody's speaking but Jay. Jay spoke with his concert, and he spoke with his freestyle on stage. But all the shills, all the puppets, all the mouthpieces, they're going to do what they're going to do. Now, remember, they're going to deny it. But again, if you are in the belief that, oh, this is all coincidental, fine. But the same talking points, the same questions keep coming up. And if you just think this is just made up by a madman, cool. But let's watch when Memphis Bleek, with all due respect, Memphis Bleek has been irrelevant for 15 years. Literally. Okay? He's been irrelevant for 20 years. Since Jay-Z dropped a diss song called Dear Summer, and if you look at Dear Summer, it says it's Memphis Bleek song. His voice not even on the track. That's his contribution to rap. However, he's now doing interviews in the aftermath of this Jay-Z concert, and he's the defender of everything they're asking or critiquing about Jay-Z. And here's the thing, when people might be like, nah, these people aren't puppets. They're not like shills. None of them ever say, hey, could you not ask me about what Jay-Z did, what his business dealing was? Could you ask Jay-Z about himself? Let that man speak for himself. I could speak for myself because I'm Memphis Bleek. We're not hearing that. We're hearing talking points. Did Charlamagne come across as, oh no, he came across as, he didn't say, yo, nah, you got to go ask Jay about that shit. I don't know what you talking about with Jay. He had the talking points, which were defenses of Jay. So anyway, let's get into this. I got to figure out at what point, here we go. There were some questions kind of lobbied at him about Jay-Z and how he's moved with Target, this and third. And I'm not going to lie. Memphis Bleek does some DPOY shit, Defensive Player of the Year. Like, yo, if he never had a corner office up at Rock Nation, he got one now. Check it out.
I was looking at him like he was dumb.
Things of that nature.
He been giving you game
that's a difference.
Here we go.
Like, they still run with it. Yo, homie in this and homie in that. It's like, ignited the interest of, yo, what's happening in baseline?
Okay.
The old side. Oh, he's where he's at.
No,
you don't think he's being weird?
Let me say this, right? I think that when he was,
he's doing too much.
Listen real quick. When he was trying to drop knowledge, I didn't want to pay attention to it. So now,
when did that occur?
When Dame first came, he was telling you.
Oh, you're talking about Dame.
Oh, y'all niggas no explanation.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
And then the truth.
So this individual, I think his name is Mouse Jones. He tries to hold Bleek's feet to the fire a bit.
Bro, because the lie is more entertaining than the truth, bro.
Okay.
No matter what you say, man. Like, the truth came out about them fouls and all that. They still run with it. Yo, homie in this and homie in that. It's like,
what about the Target
the lawyer shot down. Don't talk to me about I don't give a fuck about that activism shit, my nigga. Like, because these niggas are still in there,
right,
my nigga.
Right.
So don't worry about us.
Look, the Target deal is important because I hit up both of these dudes when that episode came. I said, oh, Y'all gotta look
Selective.
But look,
Rage.
But look, no, not at all.
Everybody album is available
Right.
vinyl
So
in Target.
why wouldn't hold?
Okay, so this guy is asking him about the Target deal. Now, self-admittedly, I don't believe that this is like some real got you for Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z is a more slimy snake, and he's a way more slithery person than just this Target thing. And I don't think he actually even did this Target thing to kick black people's back in. I think this is a thing that I know some people care a lot about what black people think about Target, this and third, but he's not the only one. So I've never used this as like this moment of, oh, this is more proof, right? Of course, it's like hypocritical, but this wouldn't be one of those. The moments that I accuse Jay-Z of selling out the black community is the situations where he's in a one-of-one situation. He's the only one that could have walked in that NFL office and tried to quell the concerns and the protesting and the kneeling by the black players. He did that and got a deal out of it for himself and co-opted Colin Kaepernick's thing. He was the guy who could say, I'm tired of Spotify and Apple. I'm doing Tidal. Those are the things I really get on him for. Him putting out his stuff in Target. Target don't even have some extra special shit with them where they're like, bring us black people. That's my caveat, right? The places that want to do business with Jay, that see his worth, they wouldn't just say, just put your vinyl in here. They're going to say to him, we want you to stop black people from protesting us. Jay never did that. So Jay just released this shit like many other people released their shit. He never came to black people and said, hey, we need to stop not fucking with Target. If he did that, that's when I would say he's now basically used that cultural equity again. But he dropped his vinyl, which, by the way, didn't sell that well. He dropped his, I mean, it was number one for vinyls, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of sales, it didn't really crack the charts, right? He wasn't like fucking top 20, despite that happening. I didn't expect, I'm not blaming Jay for this Target move, because I know how Jay moves. Jay tells black people, I'm the best of y'all. I'm your representative. I'm the person who is going to fight the establishment. Follow me. And secretly, he has a deal with the establishment, and all he does is bring the black people to the establishment. That's been his thing. That's not how it happened with Target. That's why I don't criticize him as much as many other people.
Say, hey, I don't.
And lastly, but that's what I'm telling you. A lot of these things that's happening, they're symptoms towards this, what I keep calling this Israel effect. The symptom to people being tired of you is that anything, it could be coincidental. They look at you as a piece of shit. They look at you as a capitalist, not somebody who kind of sometimes talks like he's not necessarily an activist, but you care about the community. So this is just a symptom. People mad about the Target thing is because they felt that he's finessed them 20 times. And they're tired of the finesse. So any look at a finesse, you know a bitch that can't stop lying? Sometimes even when she's telling the truth, you're like, man, why are you lying, man? Like, you always lie. And they might be telling the truth. Like, I think in this situation, I don't think Jay-Z is that guilty. Now, obviously, like, if he's really super pro-black, he could have not worked with Target. But I know the release strategies of these vinyl things. Target is a place that vinyls are bought. So I get why it's there. But he didn't do his normal thing, which is all black people start forgiving Target because of me. And now Target's going to give me something, and I'm going to drop something there. He didn't do that. I'll be honest.
He don't have to. He don't owe y'all niggas no explanation, my nigga.
That's where we split ways.
Well, that's going to forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We got to tell her we selling drugs, bitch. That's why.
No, I don't.
The fuck?
I don't get the
Come on,
correlation. I don't get the
man.
correlation there.
She want to know why we outside late doing what we do. You want to know why he did what he did. We owe none of y'all no explanation.
No,
we selling drugs,
No.
bitch.
The difference is you didn't, unless you paying that old lady rent or whatever the case may be.
He not paying your rent.
Right. The community at large. The community at large support a Hove. The community at large support a Hove.
You're not paying his rent.
Again, the community at large supported Hove. Hove gets to wage that because the community supported him.
First of all, the community know about money.
Now, I think Bleek did a really horrible job by being a little bit pompous and ignoring what this guy was saying. He was basically saying the community is what has made Jay-Z, and I agree. Jay-Z's power is not solely through his music abilities. His power is that people look at him and they see a hustler. They see themselves. It's his impact and influence on culture and community that allows him to walk into these rooms and dictate these deals, not just his celebrity. When Bleek sits up there and says, well, you're not paying his bill. That's basically shitting on, maybe he's trying to shit on just this guy, but you're shitting on the fact that it's the community that I believe Jay-Z has lost at this point. It's the community that has empowered Jay-Z. We empowered him as a community with cultural equity. He went over those hills and he was able to speak in rooms and talk to people who, it doesn't matter how much money he got as a rapper. They didn't give a fuck. They cared, though, if he could control the minds and control the movements of black people. So that is the community.
Money right now because of Hove. Right? Y'all niggas would still be running around picking boogers, wiping them on a camera screen.
This was so pompous, it was crazy. He said black people has gotten a understanding of money because of Jay-Z. A drug dealer who bragged or who lamented about him losing 92 bricks. Right? 92 bricks. He's the one who taught people about money. And this is where you got to look at Memphis Bleek. And I don't think Jay-Z really feels and his thoughts is with, because Memphis Bleek came off like a dummy here. So you're telling me that Jay-Z is the person who taught financial literacy to black people, brother? This sounds ridiculous. Jay-Z taught people about money. But then, if we're going to blame Jay-Z, if we're going to say, I don't think Jay-Z thinks like that. I think Jay-Z said, dummy, yo, nigga, could you do your irrelevant podcast and get the fuck out of the way? I got you in the will. Get the fuck out of the way. At least Charlemagne is a little bit slicker. You just can't, like, you want people to believe that. So they're trying to tell you that if you believe that Jay-Z taught black people about money, it means that you must believe that Jay-Z thinks of everybody as some bum-ass niggas who, without him giving his old stories of being a drug dealer and hustler, you guys would not be able to get access to capital. That sounds crazy. Sounds crazy.
If it wasn't for Hove and B.I.G. Let's clear it up, man. New York was not talking no money until Big and Hove came out.
From a rap perspective.
Yes. So you want to talk about money? He taught you got them chains on. You know platinum because of Hove, nigga.
That doesn't help the community.
It doesn't help the community.
No, what we say? Hold on.
How that doesn't help the community?
That doesn't help the community.
How to get money?
No.
Y'all niggas wasn't worrying about getting money. Y'all niggas was wearing motherfucking Dickie suits. You was wearing Carhartt jeans. You was walking around with farmer jeans. Niggas ain't teach you how to get fly, go in them board meetings and get that bag.
All right, now I feel that we're completely different planes here.
Yo, yes. Hove didn't teach a demographic in the community how to get money and boss up. Answer me that.
How to
yes
get fly?
Or no? How to get money and boss up. Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Well, I say old enough to be around.
Y'all wasn't listening. That's why a lot of people ain't successful. They ain't listen to the album. They ain't listen to the lyrics. They skim through it.
Now, when you get to 444 and he starts talking about investments and things of that nature,
he been giving you game
that's a difference.
444.
Sure, but once we're talking about like material stuff, that's not helping the community. It may be hindering the community, honestly.
Okay, so it's all right, cool. So it's his fault. He fucked the community up.
That's not what I said.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Memphis Bleek, he couldn't do a worse job of kind of making Jay seem like a scumbag. Nah, he's the one who gave y'all game for y'all to get money. He gave you the blueprint to get money. Huh? Then the guy says, well, listen, he could be also seen as the opposite. He was doing like some of his lyrics and his music was contributing to fucking up the community, and listen to his response to that. That's not
helping the community. It may be hindering the community, honestly.
Okay, so it's all right, cool. So it's his fault. He fucked the community up.
That's not what I said.
Is it his fault he fucked the community up? Okay.
Is that what I said? I said,
platinum is cheaper than gold right now. You'll save some money.
Yeah, gold is top dollar right now. So yeah, everybody go get platinum. No, I'm gonna get that gold. What I'm saying is, you do, in my opinion, you do owe the community you serve. You do owe them an explanation if something doesn't align.
All right.
I'm not saying entertain lies.
Gotta explain target to the community of who.
Now, I kind of get what Bleek is saying. He's just doing a really bad job at explaining it. He's trying to say Jay shouldn't have to explain every little thing. Well, here's the problem. That's what everyone's been saying. This is why this conversation is much bigger than these two having a conversation on DJ Self Show, whether bigger than me and Charlamagne having a conversation that consists of anything with Jay-Z or Roc Nation. I keep saying that Roc Nation is Israel. His approval rating is in the dirt. Yes, every move that Jay-Z makes, this was one that I thought was rather innocuous to a certain extent. But people have now distrusted him so much, they want an explanation. They need an explanation. Where Memphis Bleek is fucking up is him saying, why you got to explain this to y'all? Like, y'all should just get it. No.
Who is this community?
Those
Twitter,
who are not,
they don't even exist.
Yeah, but that's the lazy part. There's real people out here. Target.
Where they at?
What did I send y'all? When Target,
we just had a Target thing. Sorry, cut you off. We just had a Target event in Soho. Was the protesters out there?
Sure wasn't.
All right.
They should have been.
Though.
They should have been.
They on X with the picket
Listen
sign.
now listen. Now watch this. Target just reported their last 5-year numbers. The last 3 years since the protest has been happening, they're down 3.4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happening in real life.
That's cool.
It's happening in real life. So I say that to say that it's not just on the internet.
I hope y'all niggas like Walmart. Because when you put Target out, that's all you gonna have.
I don't think anybody's looking. Once again, I don't think anyone's looking to up in Target and support Walmart or any of the case, because they're all owned by shady billionaires. What I'm saying, I think people are saying
selective rage, because niggas will tell you not down with the community on a nigga app that's not down with the community. I'm done, bro. Chill. Stop.
So I mean, that was Hope's thing talking about meta and everything.
This shit, y'all, they just like. So it's selective rage.
I never.
Why niggas don't select to get money?
Agreed.
That was ignorant. You know the conversation. Listen, they could say whatever. They could run with whatever narrative they want. Oh, you know what they're now saying, right? Oh shit, Charlamagne beat Ak in an argument. That means all this Roc Nation stuff, it was just made up. The audience ain't that dumb, bro. It's like, that wasn't just an Ak talking point. They try to make like it was just Ak talking point. Oh, Ak is paranoid. Cool. This is the talking point that's pervasive in hip hop. It didn't start with me. It didn't start with Nicki. It didn't start with Tory. It started with the distrust that people have for Jay-Z business moves and Jay-Z's company. And at the end of the day, when he says, oh, well, why people got to explain it, you're going to keep skirting around the issue, other than you're going to have the same way how people believed you. You're going to have that real conversation with them and be like, listen, we're going to come clean. no, we fucked up dealing with this artist. We fucked up with this particular thing. You know what? We got misled. But we do care about people. If they don't do that, and obviously here's the thing, when you say they, because this is also to my point, right? Remember I said they're like the invisible person. All they're doing is sending out people to speak for them. Memphis Bleek is probably the nigga they should have never sent. He's the worst person to send. He's over here with was it Duce on the fucking table, just popping it like it comes across as, so what he finesse y'all niggas? What's the problem?
Rage.
I never.
Why niggas don't select to get money?
Agree.
Yeah, this whole it's selective rage. People aren't that dumb anymore. You don't got to explain it to me. You don't got to explain it to one individual entity. You got to explain it to the people. The reason why these things are boiling up, you got to explain it to the people. Now, this was a great line. Why y'all selective outraging? Just select to get money. And if that is the representation of Jay-Z and Rock Nation, Jay-Z, who's worth $2 billion, and if his puppet or his shill is going to come out there and be like, y'all niggas need to stop being selectively outraged. Select to get money like my nigga did. Very bad, I think.
Read.
Don't fucking select to wake up and tweet. Wake up and select an application, a drive, a push, an idea. Fuck you selecting rage. Yo, I'm gonna wake up and be like, yo, Self ain't play my record. I'm fucking man, I'm a tweet. This nigga is a fucking bum ass nigga all day. No, I'm gonna just be like, damn, Self ain't play the joints, cool. Let's go get some money, Cheech. Let's get out here. Let's create a new business. Maybe rap ain't working. Let's figure it out this way. That's what we supposed to do. Nah, it ain't. It's too much pointing fingers in our community, man.
You know,
it's everybody else's fault but the man in the mirror, man. That shit is whack, yo. And now niggas want niggas to explain his come up or his doings to make them happy. For what? Like
well, if Jay-Z never used the community vote, if he never used the community power in these deals, that's the problem. Jay-Z is on he's on the board of Square, not because he's a phenomenal businessman. We're gonna watch. Shout out to Eric Jackson. He did a great video on it. He's on the board of directors of Block, actually, that used to be Square and that owns Cash App. That's who Tidal got sold to. He's not there because he's a great businessman. He's there because he's seen as this is the guy that control the blacks. So this idea of why Jay-Z got to explain to people, he's the biggest example of someone that's got to explain to people, because all of his deals he's gotten through willing black people, or willing the idea that black people will follow his lead. So that's what I'm saying. These people are bad at delivering whatever points, because y'all are basically spitting in the face of the people who Jay-Z has done these B-side concerts. If we do if we go back to the freestyle, I won't even play it. The one where he was talking about Tidal and talking about Apple. He's literally talking to the people saying, why would y'all go down there instead of support us? Support your community. Now we're hearing from Bleek. Why the hell does he owe the community any type of explanation?
That logic makes my head fucking explode. Explain my moves to you for what? To make who happy? Who?
I think
the check is balanced already.
No, it's not.
No,
the checks are the check.
Did they show up to the concert, or were they mad about Target?
Oh, I don't know. I
you
don't
was
have
there and you sound mad. So you did both.
I was paid to be there.
You was there.
But you
I was
did
paid to be there. I was at work.
So why they
No, but you stayed longer than you were supposed to.
So why they not protesting you?
If they would have protested,
why they not protesting you? You took money to attend a concert. That's not capitalism?
No, that's not.
Oh my fucking God. I can't.
That's not capitalism. I didn't know we was entering that conversation. That's not capitalism.
All right,
capitalism.
You capitalized off some money for a situation, right?
That was in currency.
You didn't capitalize though?
Did I capitalize off the situation? That's not capitalism.
Did you capitalize?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo.
I was offered a. I
You
was
thought
offered
the
an
Brooklyn
opportunity.
nigga was on your side.
But he
There's no
trying
ties.
to fight for explanation to the crowd of who. That's why I want you to explain to me.
To real
the
people
name
that
of your
support
person?
me. I'm somebody who I've supported Jay-Z. That's the first artist my pops introduced me to.
Okay.
90s
So he
Reasonable Doubt.
need to holler at your pops then.
Maybe.
He don't need to holler at you.
Maybe.
He's still a pop.
Listen,
Pops
maybe.
gonna understand.
But look, at the end of the day, but look, this is why I tell everybody. I've said this to Punch in our own conversations. As men, as we get older, just as adults, but I'm a man. As men, we owe it to ourselves, if we're men of moral, to constantly litigate things that we align ourselves with. Every time. If we're just blindly loyal and blindly aligning ourselves to things that we've just always aligned ourselves because we've always aligned ourselves to it, we're gonna end up in a fucked up position. So I'm constantly I'm constantly questioning. Yo, I got there's Hove bars all over my body. I got Hove word. That's beast shit from when I had my first daughter. That's OJ. We got. For every word, like I love Hov. I love Hov.
He's from Babylon, Long
I
Island.
love Hov, but at the end of the day, as I get older, I say, damn, the nigga did say he like Fred Hampton. You know, he said it twice that he compared himself to Fred Hampton twice. Fred Hampton was a socialist. Damn, that don't make sense. Then the Target deal happened. Now, immediately when the Target deal happened, I said,
So he said,
immediately the Target deal. Go ahead.
Who should have did the deal with Kennedy's Fried Chicken?
No, there is no deal.
Oh, they got this nigga looking manic now, huh?
The Target he doesn't own the publisher.
Vinyls in Kennedy's.
He don't own the public.
Next deal gonna be with Crown Fried.
Yeah.
That's not ours.
Yo,
That's Chinese.
I'm not mad at them, and that shit on every corner.
Who not mad at them?
You mad at them?
I'm very mad at them.
You been eating that shit.
I don't eat Crown Fried. Spank.
No, he said
I
the
eat Crown Fried,
Chinese.
bro.
Yeah.
Yo, the nigga. He's not going to get
if we pull back, we pull back.
I hear him.
No, I'm not mad.
He still ain't explaining.
No, hold on. Let me pull
He
back.
said him.
Let me pull
One
back.
person.
Let me pull back.
Sure. Like, I can only. No. But when you speak to the community at large, there's
Yes.
a community. There's
You
a
remember
real life
back in the
community.
days how they used to have the little tape recorder, be like, yo, I'm gonna go in the office next time, be like, yo, Ho, this nigga Mouse at the radio, nigga want you to holler at him. He gonna be like, yo, Mouse, what up, my G? What you wanna hear, bro? I'm gonna have a tape recorder and tape it, then you tape your part, bring it down.
I don't need that because
You just said you want him to holler at you. We gotta put it in.
You gotta put it in black owned space. What?
Where? Name
Listen,
me one.
you don't
own,
own-
so you want us to sell our shit like
At the end of the
on
day,
corner?
listen, the conversation piece would have been as simple as saying, I don't own the rights to that album. They did what they want with it, as they do with every vinyl.
Who don't own
That's
the
a simple
rights to what?
reasonable doubt.
Who don't own the rights to what?
Am I bugging? Am I the only one that doesn't understand why that's the only vinyl that's in there and not the other vinyls?
Because it's the 30th anniversary.
No.
Go ahead, my man. I think you went down the wormhole.
Who owns the rights to Reasonable Doubt? Who owns the publishing of Reasonable Doubt?
Jay-Z.
And who else?
I don't fucking know. I don't care about who else. Don't matter to me.
It do, because that's who makes the decision.
But it was a
Jay-Z owns a 33% stake in the album. Eventually, he's trying to consolidate and own all of the masters combined. I think the publishing of the album, I'm not sure if he owns the whole thing, but remember, he could always re-record it. It's been 20 years. You know, it's getting up to that point. He could after a certain point, you could re-record your music. But the last I remembered is that there's also a caveat under the copyright law that he's gonna get fully the masters back because of a deal he did, but it's gonna be in 2031. So right now he doesn't own the whole thing. So I'm reading here, and we could just put it up on the screen. Does Jay-Z own Reasonable Doubt? He currently doesn't own 100% ownership. The copyright of the album is owned by Rockefeller, And so the copyright of the album is owned by Rockefeller Records. Rockefeller is still a fractured business, okay? So Jay-Z legal team filed notices stating that the rights will legally revert to him 30 years after its release, which is 2031. Supposedly, technically, remember Dame Dash owned 33% of Rockefeller. The government just took it and sold it. But 33% was owned by Dame Dash, and 33% was supposed to be owned by Biggs. That was supposed to be Mealy Mall's like brother or uncle or something. And 33% was owned by Jay-Z. So because Rockefeller was owned by a trio and the masters were owned by Rockefeller, yes, Jay-Z owns part of the masters, but not fully the masters. So this guy is technically right. But I'm going to be honest with you, Dame is in bankruptcy. Biggs, I think he's still cool with Jay-Z. It's kind of like Jay-Z owns the whole thing because Dame Dash had to sell his portion. Dame Dash sells his stake in Rockefeller. Well, actually, I think he had given that up a long time ago. No, he sold his 1/3 and the rights to Jay-Z's album. It was sold to New York State for $1 million. Right? So it sold for $1 million. So New York State owns part of that, which they're probably going to resell that again.
It's the 30th anniversary. That's why.
Are you saying that like he wasn't in control of where it went?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So why you mad at him?
I'm not.
So how he gotta come talk to you? Yo, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
He go crazy. I tried to pull it. I tried to pull it back. I tried to pull it.
Thank
I
you.
tried.
And if you're wondering, so New York State bought the share for $1 million. Remember, Drake was in the race to like buy it, this and third. New York State bought the share for $1 million, but their hopes is that they wanted to, own it in perpetuity in hopes of recouping $8.7 million. So Dame Dash had owed some money up to $8.7 million. They bought the asset that they forced him to liquidate, which was his share of Rockefeller, which they did for $1 million, but they did that in hopes of getting eventually $8.7 million.
to pull it back because he's going. He's going.
No,
hold on. Listen,
the Target deal. It would have been very simple to say to the people at large who are upset, who don't have the mental knowledge.
Decision.
Right. So to say, hey,
so why
I don't
they
have no
gotta
control
come
over that.
explain?
Who Target?
The people who made the decision.
They should. But when Jay-Z is the face of it,
we're gonna find out who them niggas are. You said you know who they are?
Let's find them.
Let's get them niggas.
Let's find them.
Back to
All right, let's get back to Bleek. All right, let me get to you, Bleek. Let me get to you, Bleek.
Yes.
Bleek, let me get to you, Bleek. So now, because I feel like, Bleek, I'm gonna get back to you because I feel like history.
The decision makers, we gonna find them niggas. They get my nigga in some heat.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. Stop
Bleek,
making them decisions.
I want to get back to you now, right? Young Bleek, what started you to rap? I feel like
Now, remember, so this law, the 35-year rule. So there's two ways around the copyright thing. You could re-record your masters. Let me look up that law first. Recording masters. Taylor Swift, how is it legal? So Taylor Swift did a re-record because the copyright separates the two distinct parts, the musical composition and the master recordings. So she owns her publishing rights, and even though she didn't own the master of the song, because she owns the publishing rights, she could actually sing her song back over to own the new masters of the re-recording. Okay? So two copyrights. Every song has a copyright for the musical work, which is owned by the songwriter, and the master recording. Okay, so the copyright, which is the music work, this is going to be the publishing. Okay, and then the master recording, it was going to be owned by whoever paid to record it or whoever did the recording or mixing and mastering. The label owned the masters, but because she wrote or co-wrote her songs, she owned the publishing, so she could sing that song again and own the new masters. Now, remember, the same copyright rule that Jay-Z's using is that in 35 years, this is how it goes with copyright for music. The original author of those songs, right, could actually file for all the copyrights to be vacated and returned basically to that person. So what look, under section blah blah, artists legally permitted to recreate their own performances. Now let me show you the 35-year rule. Okay, no, 35-year rule, copyright music. So under U.S. copyright law, section 203 of the Copyright Act, creators can cancel past assignments and reclaim their rights 35 years after they originally signed them. So remember, Jay-Z signed the rights for Reasonable Doubts to a company that he co-owned, Rockefeller. The idea of why Jay-Z doesn't buy out Dame Dash, or he didn't buy out Dame Dash and buy out Biggs, is that the copyrights were coming back to Jay-Z no matter what, because Rockefeller owning the copyrights to Reasonable Doubt, they would be automatically vacated if he files the claim after 35 years. 1996, we're at the 30-year mark. He needs to wait 5 more years. That's 2031. Okay? So it says the law override any contract clause purporting to waive this right. So you can't even have a contract to say I'm going to own this in perpetuity. Okay? So this is really key. The window, you must serve written notice to the publisher or label 2 to 10 years ahead of the effective date. It says 2 to 10 years. Remember, right now it's 5 years. This is why when Dame Dash was trying to sell his part of Rockefeller, which is 32%, Jay-Z, which some people thought was some hater shit, Jay-Z and Roc Nation came out and says, hey, just letting you know, anybody who buys Dame's part of this, he's not going to own Rockefeller as part of, he's not going to own Reasonable Doubt as part of his ownership of Rockefeller in 5 years, because I've already served notice that that Reasonable Doubt comes back to me, right? This is where he did it. I'll show you. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, 2031. Now, that stepped on the sale. Look, he filed legal notice. So when he did that right at the time when Dame Dash was trying to sell. So what that means is that if you bought Dame Dash's stake in Rockefeller, you would only own Reasonable Doubt's masters for 5 years. So whatever you paid, now if you're thinking about some investment shit, are you going to get your money back in 5 years? Okay? He filed a legal notice that ensures that the rights to Reasonable Doubt will return to him in 2031. Dame was ordered to sell his third share in Rockefeller Records in February. The most valuable asset that the label owns is a copyright of Jay's debut. Okay? He announced he'd be selling his share of Reasonable Doubt. I'm wondering, what other copyrights does Rockefeller have, though? What albums is owned by Rockefeller Records? Because I would think, isn't Blueprint under Rockefeller Records, or is that just it's probably, never mind. It says Blueprint too. Yeah, it says Blueprint as well. Okay. Now, College Dropout. Shit. That's still a good sale. Yeah, I would think all these are owned by Rockefeller Records. I know Reasonable Doubt has a significant, it's like his pristine album. But shit, I'm not gonna lie. If you bought Rockefeller and you have access to the masters of Kanye, I'll just say Kanye. These joints basically does nothing. Yeah, the Kanye shit matters. But did Kanye ever get his masters back? Let me see. Kanye West masters. Remember, Kanye was trying to get his masters back. Did he get his masters from Rockefeller? But here's also the mix-up of all this too, right? The masters also is probably split because Rockefeller was on Def Jam. And when you're on Def Jam, usually the bigger company wants the masters. So I could see why Reasonable Doubt, the first album they had, that's under Rockefeller. But now when you get the check from Def Jam, they want to have Kanye shit. They want to maybe get the Blueprint. So either Rockefeller has little to no percentage on the masters of like Blueprint, which came in 2001. Remember, we had Reasonable Doubt in 1996. And when it comes to Kanye, we had College Dropout in 2004. Yeah, it's probably Def Jam that owns those masters. And I think Kanye did say it. He didn't say his masters was owned by Rockefeller. I think he said Def Jam had his masters. Sorry, Def Jam. Kanye doesn't own, yeah, he doesn't own it. Yeah, the parent, Def Jam has it. Yeah, so Def Jam has it. Yep. So really, Rockefeller masters, and look, all we got to look at is, when did Rockefeller sign a deal with Def Jam? Because the moment they sign a deal, all new masters, see, okay, that makes sense. In 1997. This is after Jay drops. When did Reasonable Doubt drop? Okay. Oh my God. 1996. You see here. So Reasonable Doubt drops in 1996 because they were quote unquote an independent label. That label owns the masters, right? Now they could license the masters to Def Jam because Def Jam comes in afterwards. But when Def Jam comes in, any new projects, they won't license it. They're going to own it. They're going to say, I'm going to own that masters. Like, for example, I guarantee you Lil Uzi, remember he signed to Generation Now. I hate that I keep using him, but Atlantic owns the masters. They're not going to make Generation Now owns the master. What the fuck? Why pay all that money? So, cool. So, yeah, in 1997, Rockefeller signed a 50-50 deal. It gave them a 50% stake while they retained ownership and creative control. Well, ownership of the label. Now, it still doesn't mean that the new recordings are going to be assigned to Rockefeller. It was going to be assigned to Def Jam. Partnership quickly bore fruit, launching his sophomore album. So that's the second album. And Def Jam acquired the next 50% of Rockefeller. So they bought Rockefeller completely. And then they made Jay-Z the president. Yeah. So that makes sense. So if we're looking at Rockefeller masters that they might have, it looks like Reasonable Doubt might be the biggest thing. They don't have Kanye stuff. Def Jam has that. So that makes sense.
These type of stories, because you are here talking, you feel like you should talk.
Yeah, y'all want my explanation?
Yes, we want your explanation.
I got one. Fuck these niggas.
What made you say, yo, I want to start rapping? Because I think that also you, being part of the Rockefeller camp, you also inspired the younger homies. And when I say that, I feel like even me coming up, it was like, all right, Jay is the older guy, but I relate more to Bleek. You understand?
I give you that. But back then, my inspiration around, man, I just wanted some joints. I just wanted the ladies, man. That's it.
Okay.
Like, remember, we didn't have examples of rich rappers. They just had big chains in front of Albee Square Mall with nice cars and then was scared.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I think Bleek did a fuck up job there. Hey, have y'all seen